Hey y'all, so I got another review. This one is called Stalking Laura. Okay, it's Brooke Shields and the dude that plays in the original It. The miniseries is in this movie, which happens to be one of my favorite miniseries of Stephen King. This is spoiler alert. Because I'm telling the movie with this one. But anyway, so Laura is very, very smart and she's pretty. Laura gets a job in Silicon Valley and she moves to go do her job, right? She is the only woman in her department and she happened to be pretty, right? She meets her boss and he just happens to be there and they go to dinner and old buddy is absolutely smitten with Laura, okay? He takes to watching her just be, right? She's at aerobics, she's living her life, she's living her best life. He catches up to her in the parking lot while she next to her car one night and was like, "Hey Laura, I got some tickets to such and such. You wanna go? Are you free?" She was like, "No, I'm not free that night." Then he says, "Well, we should go to dinner Saturday night then." And she was like, No, thank you, I'm not really interested." Then old buddy says, "Well, Laura, it's gonna be hard to have a relationship with you if you keep rejecting me." And of course, Laura's stunned because who the fuck says some shit like that, right? She gets in her car and she goes home. All right, so he's being super weird and super creepy at work, making her uncomfortable. He joined her gym and is standing right next to her while she's working out. He popping up at her house, just crossing the fucking line, right? She goes to HR and tells HR this, and HR was like, "Well, do you always smile like that when you're talking to people?" So the HR person is a woman. Well, it's innocent, just completely dismissing her concerns. Was there anything that you did to make him think that y'all was gonna have some type of relationship? Just asking shit like that. Even though I know this stuff could happen today, this was like 80s, 90s, like the setting anyway. Next thing we know, Buddy has taken to writing her letters and dropping the letters off at her house, right? The letters are like, "Oh, I can't wait, for us to be together. I want to do such and such. You look great with this." Just creepy letters. And she's taking all of this to HR, but then we find out the HR doesn't want to get rid of him because of his security clearance. It's a long and drawn out process to get security clearance at his job, so he's an asset and they don't want to get rid of him. It got so bad for Laura. Laura moved with her friend to a different place, and she did tell her work where she moved to, but he decided to get the smart idea to go to HR and be like, "Hey, Laura's birthday's supposed to be soon, and I would like to know exactly when so we can, throw her, get her a cake or throw her a party or something." And dummy pulls up her profile so you can see her social security number, birth date, address, all of that. The lady says, "Well, you're way off. Her birthday not till January." He's like, "Oh, I must have forgot." He was trying to get the address. He got the address, and he dropped by her new address. Anyway, this goes on for over a year. Now she got all these letters she done stockpiled. He calling. He's still, going to her aerobics classes and just fucking with her, right? Because she wouldn't go out with her. She takes all of this to HR, and HR is like, "Okay, now it looks like we got to do something," because it got that bad, right? They call a meeting. They call a meeting with him, and they tell him, "Hey, listen, this and this, you shouldn't be doing this, right? And we're gonna have to let you go if you keep doing it." And he was like, "You can't tell me what to do with my personal life." They're like, "Well, if you keep doing it, we're gonna fire you." He said, "If you fire me, that kind of makes me want to come back to this office and start getting rid of people." And the HR lady was like, "Okay, so are you saying that if we fire you, you gonna, what did they TikTok say? Unalive me?" He said, "Yeah." They walked his ass out that day. So he went to the gun shop because the particular gun shop he was going to was having a clearance. And he bought up cases of bullets and went back to the office and started mowing people down. He shot Laura and left her, to bleed out. But, long story short, Laura got out and old buddy went to prison. They got him out alive and he went to prison. But fun fact, this actually happened. This was a real story. I think that's what I like about lifetime. As most of these stories back then was real, like based off of real people. But yeah, that's movie review. I'll be back with more. Y'all have a good night.